in conversation with some fascinating ladies who've changed the game in the world of video, music and gaming. Only on Hungama's Women Game Changers 2022 podcast.
Hello everybody, this is your host Andrea D'Souza and welcome back to another episode of the Hungama Women Game Changers podcast. The Hungama Women Game Changers initiative was launched on 8th of March 2022 in order to felicitate and congratulate all the amazing work done by women in music, gaming and entertainment industries. And today we are in conversation with one of the winners of the first edition. We have with us today somebody from the entertainment industry who is an intimacy coordinator, a producer, a writer and a director. She is an India-based Ukrainian who has done some amazing work in the movie Dar Gai, and I'm pretty sure a lot of you have watched that movie. So without prolonging this introduction any further, let me just introduce the person we have with us today, and that is Dar Gai. Hi Dar, it is so good to have you here with us and it is so good to be able to speak to you today.
Well, thank you so much for having me. I'm really excited for this.
Amazing. So to begin with, I wanted to ask you, how did you get into this, to be an intimacy director? What was your journey like here?
I think my journey started a long time ago when I started directing films, and at some point of time I had a conversation with Chakun Bajram. He was just preparing his film and he saw my music video called Mass that I've done for Pratik Fuhad, and he really liked the kind of intimacy and chemistry between two actors, and he said that I'm doing a film which is based on a lot of those intricate moments between two people, and can you come and help me with recreation that energy and chemistry between two actors, taking them through workshops and also directing two music videos as a part of the film. And I thought it was a very interesting idea, and I researched a lot on that. I also worked with intimacy coordinator on that with Neha Vyas, and the idea of bringing something new to India was very excited for us, because I've been in this industry for the last 10 years and I know how tricky it is sometimes for actors to do certain intimate scene, and by intimate I don't mean just when sex involved, but it's any emotional scene, right? Whether any scenes that kind of creates vulnerability around you, whether it can be just like a pack in the lip, right, or just even a hug, depending on just what you're comfortable, what you're not comfortable. And the idea is for intimacy coordinators, for intimacy directors, to create that moment of comfort for your actors on the set. And we've been discussing that topic a lot with Shapun, and then one day we had opportunity, we just jumped on it, and and here we are.
Wow, that's interesting. So how was it like, being a part of the Dar Gai movie and, working with Deepika and with all the other actors as well?
It was very exciting. I think, firstly, because I got the actors several days before the shoot, and for 5-6 days we were doing our workshops. And the most important thing for me was just the trust that actors had in me was there, and because of that we could experiment and we could achieve, I feel, much more. Whenever you have a trust as a director or as an intimacy director with your actors, it's like 70% done, because basically it's your homework, right? Whatever the workshops is your homework. If you do it well, then you create chemistry, you create magic on set. But it's possible only if you put those hours. And incredible part about Deepika is that she's very process oriented, and she was excited to do that. Of course, I had to explain her what's the purpose of that, why we're going through rigorous workshops, why we're going through this training, and she understood the the final goal that all of us had, and she was extremely cooperative, very creative, and the trust that both of them had in me, I feel kind of showed in the result that we had in our film and in the music videos that we've done.
That is amazing. Wow. So I think the success that Dar Gai has gotten, I think part of it is actually going to be with you as well. So kudos to that.
Yeah.
So your journey, you spoke about your journey, but I also know that you've been a producer as well as a director and a writer. So how did that come about being? You've been in the industry for 10 years, but you've done so many things in the industry, so that's really cool. But the writing and the producing part came from there.
Yeah, well, I think at some point of time when, I was professor at filmmaking school and for 3.5 years, and while teaching, I was also directing for short films and ads. Then I've done my first feature film, and then that went to Netflix and traveled the festivals. And after the first film, we realized that industry is changing, the audience is changing, and we have incredible opportunity to create in a way our small bubble, right, that we will be comfortable in, and then we can create the stories that we are inspired and excited about. And this is how my production house Jugaad came into place. So we started it together with my husband, with Dirma Maya, and we've done second feature film. It traveled to the festivals, and then we started producing more. We started doing a lot of music videos and ads and feature films, shows. And one of our films, the last film Show, which was directed by Pandalin, was selected from India to go to Oscars, and then we got shortlisted in 15 films. And the entire journey was extremely interesting, because for us, I think it's not just about producing or directing or writing, it's just the idea of creation. All of us in Jugaad, we're excited about creating, we're excited about starting something new that can tell stories, whether it's film, whether it's music. We're just starting right now music label, because we feel that India has so much scope to introduce new genres and new kind of storytelling through the artists themselves. So yeah, it's I guess all about just creation.
That's really interesting. So in the beginning of it, did you have like a mentor or someone you looked up to as a child?
Well, I think for me, mentor was everyone who just done something differently or just got up from the bed and start creating, whether it's writers, whether it's my professors at my university where I was studying philosophy. And in our field, collaboration, co-creation and support of each other is the key to success as an industry. If before that we thought that just being individualistic or being a director and just concentrating on your creation is important, now we realize that collaboration and success of fellow filmmakers are as important as your own success, because if industry succeeds, you have platform to create your own films or scripts, ideas. And even right now with Jugaad, we feel that our main targets is just to creating and pushing the idea of collaboration and communication between different creators.
So one more question. Initially, you told me that you have to build a relationship between the people you're working with. So even with the Geraya cast, you had to build like the relationship. So how do you do that? That trust in that relationship. How do you build that?
I think the most important thing is being informed, and when you know why you're doing, when you're doing, and you're being open to your team and to your actors, and they understand the final goal and the process. So I always start, whether it's intimacy direction or I'm directing or I'm writing and I'm sitting with my writer's room. In my writer's room, I always explain to my team what's my final goal, what's my vision, and why we're doing what we're doing, even if it sometimes, when it comes down to the workshops, seems uncomfortable or weird. But the idea is just, when people are informed, they feel safe and they feel more excited to do anything new that you are kind of exploring with them, right?
Right.
And once you explain them the plan and everyone is on the same page, then we're able to move together forward. So inspiration is the most important thing, to find the right way how to inspire your team. And yeah, I think being informed is one of the key points to just to success, because then your team will be prepared for anything new that's coming their way.
Pretty interesting, actually. Nice point of view. So as an intimacy director, that's a very different role that we haven't heard much of, at least in India. So what is like the toughest part of your job as an intimacy director?
I think it's, of course, at the beginning, just to create this connection and trust between the actors, and then to inform your team and your crew exactly what you're doing and what to prepare for, and to keep set minimal as possible. And of course, it's a new concept, so you have to explain it to the crew, you have to explain it to everyone, your vision and why you're doing that. So I think, like, when you're working on big projects where extremely high number of people involved, it takes time and it takes effort, and then also you're doing something new. And some people think that it's it's unnecessary, or it just it's extra time to spending on it. But just patience was very demanding for that time. And but we went through it. I think when you're introducing something new in the industry, it's always a lot of people have questions, a lot of people have concerns, so you just need to be ready to explain that again and again. And this summer, I guess we were going through, but everything else was very simple. And I guess that that moment was the only one which was complicated, actually.
Very interesting. I've actually not heard much of the intimacy directors in the industry, so that's really good to have one of you onto that initiative. So coming back to the Women Game Changers initiative, how does it feel to be a part of it? To be a part of so many women, 50 women in the music and entertainment and gaming industries.
It's very exciting. It's very inspiring because clearly it's a sign that industry is widening, industry is opening up, industry has more opportunities and more acceptance. And the most important thing is just inspiring, because more women we have in across the industries, new angles were able to rise, right? New topics were able to explore, new ideas were able to create, and this is always very exciting.
So Dar, it was actually a delight to have you with us, and we're really happy to have you as a part of the winner of the first edition of the Women Game Changers initiative, and we're looking forward to have you on so many more, to working with you on different projects as well.
No, thank you so much. I'm really excited to explore all the interesting creations we can do together.
So thank you, Dar. Thank you for giving us the time as well, and looking forward to meet you. Thank you.
In conversation with some fascinating ladies who've changed the game in the world of video, music and gaming. Only on Hungama's Women Game Changers 2022 podcast.